I see. I've been going and it looks like I was on silent. Those that can hear me, can you hear me now? Okay, great. Now we're there. Clear it. Okay. As I was stating, one of the things that we're looking at is that today was a historic day. We had a lot of things that were happening. We had our elections. We had the results of our election, and we had individuals that have been installed into office. We look at it. We have an individual that was a third time that he ran for office, President Biden. Can you imagine if he would not have run his third time, he would not have been our president? And one of the things that he knew when he was running, he had to get a running mate that was ready to run. He said, let me go out and find someone talented. Let me go out and find someone that is intelligent, battle tested, and that can get us to where we need to be. So he found a Kamala Harris. They joined together, realized they're raising their lid individually and collectively. And as they did that, the community, the voters, everyone that came together said, these are some things that we want to do. So you look at it, President Biden, he raised his lid by putting his name in the hat after checking with his family. He said he had to check with his family to see if they were really ready to run. So then once he checks with them, he says, now we're ready to run this race. So as he's out there, yes, he's an elder statesman. You can't change age. He's like, but this is what I'm bringing to the people. So we start looking at it. How many of us are waiting on that third opportunity, or we have been denied once, or we have been denied twice, but we cannot be denied that third time? You look at it in America, 3 is a very significant number. Baseball, 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. Those that are traveling along those level planes in life, we know how significant that 3 is. So when you're looking at it right now, he raised his lid by allowing himself to be put out there into this particular job. Then he pulled himself up, because they often say it's lonely at the top unless you bring someone with you. So as he reached over there and he identified Kamala Harris as not just a black woman, but a black woman that is ready to go to that next level. So he raised her lid. By raising her lid, she went out there. And so therefore she started explaining and exploring things. So therefore now individuals are more aware of HBCUs. Many times individuals before had only heard of them, or really they had, some of them may have not been on campuses yet. But right now, as a result of all of this happening, the historically black colleges and universities have been highlighted. Their lid has been raised. People are now beginning to understand how individuals go to these schools and are very dynamic. Yes, I am a proud graduate of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University on the tallest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida. And yes, I am a proud member of Alpha Kappa Fraternity Incorporated, Beta Nu Chapter, also situated right there at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, now serving down here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in the Zeta Alpha Lambda Chapter. So when we start talking about what the lids are and where individuals are getting nurtured and where they're getting their education, you begin to look at your leaders and see where they came from. Now you're beginning to see where these dynamic individuals that are leading our country, leading our organizations, many of us have our educational roots in our HBCUs. Our doctorates and terminal degrees, many of us have those from our HBCUs. And some of us, my doctorate is from Florida International University, but my foundation is at HBCU. So now you start looking at it, and when you start talking about it from the Greek letter organizations and the D9 and Divine Nine, many times within the organizations, and you'll see people wondering if the Divine Nine is really relevant. I think it would be hard pressed to tell some individuals that have won their races right now. That is another Alpha brother. That's your first black senator in Georgia. I think that you will be very, very difficult to show that the Divine Nine is not impactful and important in our communities. Individuals now beginning to see us more than just a stereotypical party. Some people think all we did was party, but we often said we party hard, we party late, but most of all, we graduate. with scholars making dollars. So when you look at it, I see Regina Mathis, another one of my rattlers there. Delta, glad you're on here. Pauline Ricketts, I see you here. And Nadia Assad, I see you here. Thank you all for joining me. Please share it with others, because these are some things that we're talking about as we're raising the lid of what we're doing within our own communities, within our own organizations. This is what we deal with, because leadership, when you're going up there, let's look at what's happening right now. If you look at it, when you think about where our president and vice president came from, our Delawares and our Californias, if they did not raise their lids, their leadership and their impact would have been largely restricted to their area that they had, their particular states. But when you raise that lid to the level that they are raised right now, their leadership ability, their reach, their impact, their influence is now on an international level. So these are the same individuals with the same things that they had last year, but now because their lid has been raised, they're able to have a far wider reach. So many of us are dealing in our communities. We need to raise our lids to be a little bit more impactful. I know that we have individuals out there that are doing things, and you know that what you're doing, you can be having a far-reaching impact. We need to look at people that are doing things and reaching out there and use that for encouragement for what we need to do. As I stated earlier, you talk about Amanda Gorman, 22 years old. Think about those of us that are over 22. Can you imagine what she had to do prior to being 22 to position herself for this opportunity? Many times people say, oh, I was lucky. No, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. If you're not prepared and the opportunity comes, you can't be lucky. So therefore, this young lady was more than prepared for when the opportunity arose. Now we will call her lucky, fortunate, or whichever word you'd like to say, but she had to be prepared. Are you all prepared for when your opportunity arises so that therefore you can be lucky? We have to make sure that we're prepared. We have to constantly be sharpening our axe. And we often say iron sharpens iron. But when you're looking at it, iron sharpens irons, and sometimes we have to make our own opportunities. So now, are you making your own opportunity? Raise your lid. Are you working within your own organization so that they know what you can do? Raise your lid. Are you going to be the best kept secret? When we're out there and we see things that need to be done, raise your lid. When you're out there and it's a lot that needs to be done, and you know that there's some other talented people out there in the community, grab them and bring them along with you. Raise their lid. I am tired of when I see talented individuals, and whether they keep the lid on themselves or they allow what others think that they can do, keep lids on them. We must stop that. We must now say it is time for us to raise our lid. Which one of you all will be the next President Joe Biden, where you may have been turned down once or twice, but on that third time, you're going to make that success. And when you're making that success, have you identified individuals that you're going to take along with you, making sure that they are successful and ready for those opportunities? What I want you all to do is I want you to think about it. I want you to look deep down. I want you to start saying, what am I going to do to raise my lid? Do not stay in your comfort zone. You need to begin getting out there. Where pain begins, that's where growth begins. It's just like when you're working out. If you go to that gym and you work out and you aren't sore the next day or the day after, you did not really work out. You just visited the gym. What I want you all to do, those of y'all that are in college, I need you to go in there, challenge the professors, raise your lid. When you begin raising that lid, professors love to be challenged intelligently. So therefore, they prize themselves on producing individuals. How many professors do you think are right now very proud when they look out there and see what their students are doing in the world? What you need to do is go out there, make your professor proud, make yourself proud, raise your lid, bring some others with you. Your challenge from me is to go out there and to raise your lid. Your other challenge from me is to go out there and challenge some other people in your circle to raise their lid. Because if you're surrounding yourself with individuals that are raising their lid, you're destined to be successful. And remember, I often say success is options. Every time you make a decision, ask yourself, is that going to increase your options or decrease your options? I am Dr. Gregory A. Salters on this historic January 20th, 2021. Why don't you go out there, do like our president Joseph Biden did, and our first Black, Asian, female Vice President, Kamala Harris, did. Raise your lid. Let's make history. I am Dr. Gregory A. Salters. Be sure to follow me here on Facebook. You can follow me on YouTube. You can also visit the website, www.gregoryasalters.com. Let's get in this and let's go to the next level. You all have been seasoned for success. Go out there and raise your lid.